Hi everyone, welcome back to Adelante with Arlene. I'm your host Arlene. It's been a while. Today on this segment of my thoughts, I'd like to briefly share about day-to-day noise that we hear in our mind that sometimes stops us from being creative and fulfilling more purpose in our life than we expected.
These are my thoughts. Let me inspire you.
Each day brings its own problems, the word of God says. Each day is never promised to us. It brings troubles of its own. It brings its own noise. It goes on in our head, wondering what we're going to cook, what time you have to pick up the kids, and so on and so forth. It goes on even while we're working and producing and fulfilling part of our purpose on this life. And we go through the motions at work and we become so boggled down, so distracted with all this noise and all these thoughts while we presently are sitting doing our jobs. Whether we're married, whether we're single, whether we have kids, or whether we don't, happens to all of us. And I found that this is when I start losing my creativity. You're going to say you're not a creative person. Well, we all are creative people in some way or another. Not all of us in the arts, as I happen to be. But when I was recovering from my knee injury, I had more time in my hands, and boy, was I bursting out with thoughts and words to speak to you with. But as I started going back to my job, I thought of only the thing I was doing on hand. But there was something inside of me that was feeling so uneasy as I wasn't able to do what I love to do, and that is create. Somehow, what I was doing was not allowing me to find rest and still be able to produce and write. But while this was happening and this struggle, this inner struggle we get sometimes, I decided to put the recorder on and speak about exactly how I was feeling. I wanted them to understand that I can create even while I am doing something else. I can open myself up to that. How? By keeping God in the midst of it. So instead of focusing so much on those things I wanted to do, I had to put my mind on God and ask Him what He wanted me to do. And I started recording on my phone some of my thoughts. My suggestion to you is sit yourself down and have a conversation with God, or take a piece of paper and write down those things that you're looking to enjoy, to do, to create, that somehow you haven't gotten to do them. So as I presently sat at the job that day, I decided to quiet my inner self and find myself in the presence of God while still doing the job on hand. And that is why I'm speaking to you today. See, we're all born with purpose. I say purposes. We have creativity, and while we, as I mentioned, don't create the same, we still are creative creatures as God made us to be. And sometimes we internalize those things that we want to do day to day, and we don't take the step to do them because we find good solid reasons or excuses not to do them. And then some of us become quite miserable. Time passes by and we find ourselves stuck, unable, and wondering, how did time pass by? As we put all our energies maybe into one thing or two things or three things, and not allowing ourselves to take care of ourselves and to create an atmosphere that will make us even more creative. We all have 24 hours of a day, and most of us might be 8, might be 12, in the sense of whatever it might be. But even if it's for 15 minutes, take that quiet time. And if it's an hour, even more so, better. Whether you're male, whether you're female, we still can find the time to create. Either get up early in the morning, something that doesn't work for me, or stay up late at night, just a little longer, so you can clear your mind, so you can focus on what is it that you'd like to do that you have been unable to do because you haven't allowed yourself the time to do so. Find time for yourself, make time for quiet time. Do you have a pencil? Record on your phone like I do. Jot down those things. that you want to accomplish and prayerfully go for it. Believe that you can do it because with God, nothing is impossible. He can strengthen you and He can open those doors for you. Don't think you're alone. You'd be surprised how many around you might feel the same. Let's say you want to go to the gym. Maybe you'll find someone else that wants to go with you. Maybe you don't want to go in the gym. Maybe you want to do it outside, exercise outside, spend that little time, maybe with some friend that feels the same way you do. Just 1 hour of a day. For some of us, 15 minutes a day to clear your mind, because life goes fast. And we all make sacrifices in life for those we love, absolutely. What good is it if we sacrifice all that we have and yet do not find time for ourselves? To be better people, to be happier people, find the way prayerfully find the way not to neglect those other things that you're doing, but still find the time to be or to discover who you are, growing to be a day at a time with more purpose, to create, to do what you were born to do, and to fulfill the purposes even more than you thought they would be. Psalm 9:10 says, "Those who know your name and trust in you, O Lord, do not abandon those who search you. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. He will make it clear." Rest is defined as peace. It's ease. Refreshment. Relax means to become loose, to be less rigid. I'm very rigid. To have a milder manner, to be less stiff. The Bible speaks quite frequently on rest. Rest doesn't mean not doing. It's just resting in Him. Burnout is commonly described as being in an exhausted state in which a person loses interest in a particular activity and even in life in general. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, social, spiritual exhaustion, and it can lead to diminishing health, social withdrawal, depression, and spiritual warfare. So my encouragement for you today is take time for yourself. Smell the roses. Find the new purposes in your life that are there. Do not be afraid to take a chance on it. Prayerfully, wisely, considering all the things you must consider. But know that you were created with more than one purpose in life. God can give you the strength. God can show you what that is. Thank you for tuning in to Adelante with Arlene. And remember, please, to subscribe, leave a comment, go Google me under Adelante with Arlene or Freestyle Music Artist Arlene. Enjoy my other platforms. As I say at the end of every video or every podcast, until next time, keep moving forward.
Thank you for tuning in to Adelante with Arlene. Don't forget to subscribe to Adelante with Arlene and share my videos and inspire someone else.